Okay, so we start to follow this prayer booklet if you like. 3 chants, the first one, and then further continuously.
Kor
Shaki Jabu Shabla Kushan Sar Origin Tolang Pami Tombole Jarinam Tram Jan Lengi Chun Sanzo Hui and then Sombro Pimman Joni Dalu Pensor Angumbar Joy and the Wanda Tomei Shola Chuchi Zhao Zamlin Yen Shuo Namla Kushan Sar Zamlan Zibi Jan Jun Shani Dan Du Jin Long Tong Yan Bin Tamaya Na Chutan Bari Peter Shuji Kondi Shukur Tong Bin Hong Timi Wuzi Shabla Kushan Sar Shibsha Kanchin Jola Jibsi Tere Timi Wuzi Ram Che Tu Ter Jo Serlon Chen Nam Ke Nam Jingme Lingbi Shabla Kushan Sar Mari Sangin Chera Nyangla Shara Kondo Zambu Molam Number Jan Sipsi Jarvin Tenlin Zinza Mipam Jamchu Shabla Kushan Sar Pame Tuxi Dorjip Tenjumye Trupi Namra Lira Lampikar Matu Londarik Pi Hwarjip Jingme Penso Shabla Kushan Sar Kamsung Kowa Don Tunum Jimbe Sabjelam Yuan Darshan Ba Nilu Rajar Tombe Namjun Yeshi Wamchu Shabla Kushan Sar Konzan Dursim Garb Shirasan Pema Kara Jimban Yushunga Sozor Namnya Tertun Jersas Katir Lama Namla Kushan Sar Kandam Shoshu Tongan Jitena, Desalomar Jiva Kansata, Tandar Tombi Shuji Chenbe, Sembrando Badeda Tamchen Shashi, Namo Arya Tambal, Haike Dan Ladan Dushike, Tum Dana Mike Nam Dan, Roa Kunji Jaketches, Tamche Ket the Chujan Tujur Shi. Okay, so I can just play only one verse on English 3 times for immeasurable Bodhicitta or the generation of Bodhicitta on the second page. May all beings enjoy happiness and the causes of happiness. May all beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all beings never be apart from the supreme bliss which is free of all suffering. May all beings live in great equanimity, free from the attachment and aversions that keep some close and other distant. May all beings enjoy happiness and the causes of happiness. May all beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all beings never be apart from the supreme bliss which is free of all suffering. May all beings live in great equanimity, free from the attachment and aversions that keep some close and other distant. May all beings enjoy happiness and the causes of happiness. May all beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all beings never be apart from the supreme bliss which is free of all suffering. May all beings live in great equanimity, free from the attachment and aversions that keep some close and other distant. Alright, so today we're going to talk about the meditation to be open the heart, is it? That is, I think, something like that. So anyway, this topic to understand, I think, important for everybody. No matter you are traditional followers or non-traditional followers, and also it doesn't matter you are Buddhist practitioners or non-Buddhist practitioners. So I think is equally for everyone. This subject is good to benefit. And generally, as you know, all sentient beings totally same like us. What we want, happiness, enjoyment, the other sentient beings also too. And completely same like us, what we don't want, the suffering, the obstacles, the other sentient beings 100% sure is too. So the sentient beings generally, as you know, probably, according to the Buddhist point of the number, we say existent in the countlessly or numberlessly. The reason because the space have no end. So as long as pervading equally endlessly by the space and then the universe, no matter with form and without form, could be can existent and boundlessly. As long as the universe existent and then sentient beings also could be can, whether with a form or without a form body, but could be can existent numberlessly. So, but invariably the numberless sentient beings we can divide it into the 6 different types with categories, as you know. 6, 3 unfortunate lower realm being, another 3 is fortune upper realm being. So these first are the 3 unfortunate lower realm beings: hell realm being, hungry ghost realm being, and animal realm beings. These are the 3 which are unfortunate lower realm. The reason because unfortunately themselves enough as the misdeed, action, non-merits, loads. On top also they haven't found the antidote, purifications. So when they completed the projection, the negative karma completely and achieving unfavorable conditions, and then once fully the repentant result, born any one of these 1, 3 of unfortunate realm. That's why unfortunately they are more suffering, more problem than the upper realm. For example, being who unfortunately is reborn in the hell realm, and then the mainly problems suffering with of heat and burning and the hundreds years, thousands years. Some beings are unfortunately kalpas takes long. And then some other beings, unfortunately, born in animal, the hungry ghost realms, they are also mainly suffering with the hungry and thirsty hundreds years. Some hungry ghosts even can be thousands years life. And then some beings are unfortunately, if reborn in the animal realms, they are mainly suffering with the mental stupidity, blindness, mind. And they're also suffering with to eating each other, to killing each other, and some animals haven't yet entered the human force, no freedom. So that's why we say unfortunate low realm. And then another 3 beings are upper realm, which is human realm beings, God realm beings, and animal, the semi-God realm beings. These are the 3 we say fortune realm, because fortunately their previous many lifetimes enough accumulated loads of merits and did the virtuous actions very well done, and on top enough aspiration, dedication, prayer over and over for free next life as low realm, and they did dedication, aspiration for reborn higher fortune realm. So finally, when they completed the needed projection positive karma and achieving the favorable conditions, and then once chance opportunity, maybe hundreds lifetimes after, once maybe reborn higher, any one of these fortune realm. So that's why even this fortune realm is a part of samsara, but to compare an unfortunate 3 low realm, they're good life, for long life, more harmony, more peaceful, more intelligent, and more lucky or so on as a fortune realm being. But we are really fortunate because we are at the moment is freedom falling any one of 3 unfortunate low realm. We are born in this fortune human realm. upper realm. Especially is the human. Also, there's one special within the 8 freedoms, the qualities of 10 endowments that we say most one precious, like wish fulfilling jewel. The wish fulfilling jewel hard to find, hard to recognize, hard to know how to use. Finally, could become fulfill your temporary wish and temporary benefits. That's no more the jewel of the wish fulfilling jewel. That this precious human body more rarity, more difficult to find than even wish fulfilling jewel. Difficult to recognize, difficult to know how to use for fulfillment, but finally, can bring will be the benefit in this life, temperament benefit, on top also further for future life, and final, completely enlightenment also possible by this human precious body. So therefore more precious than wish fulfilling jewel. So we very lucky and fortunate. We are fortunately we are hard to find this precious human body. We must be happy, enjoy, and you should not forget. So that's how we are fortunate. But the question is how long can belongs to us this precious of body, human body, and I think it's difficult to answer exactly the reason, because life is very impermanent. Not only life, actually all the compounded phenomena are impermanent because originated by the interdependently. So therefore, but particularly is our life is very, so the unstable. So that's why it's difficult to answer when, where, how will we going to die. But rather, we don't know exactly when, where, how, but sooner or later, 100% sure based on unfavorable cause and conditions will be death, accident. That is normal, as usual. Be already born in this earth, and then the death is after birth. That is normal. But we should not forget. Must be we should thinking about what is going to benefit for you during the death, dissolution, stretch, or death comes. That times only is your previous or the positive action, the merits follow you, the positive karma to benefit for you further for life after for another life. But that not positive karma only benefit for future, but in this moment, very present moment also, you have chance, opportunity, more lucky, fortune, happy, peaceful, and harmonious also. And so therefore, that's a very benefit. But unfortunately, if we doesn't care the nature rule, karma of cause and effect, or we don't believe about the natural law, cause and effect, and therefore in this case is we accumulated loads of non-merits. In this life, we have no chance to collection of merits, and then unfortunately, it's bad life in the moments harming each other, and further of future also is difficult. Next rebirth, reborn again, higher fortune. So therefore, we should not forget the natural rule, karma of cause and effect. That is a natural rule, is a natural law. Cannot beyond this nature of law. That's not country's law. That's not tradition's law. Even that's not Buddhist law. This is that why we say nature, reality law. Fire nature is a burning, and the heat is the burn, and heat is the definition of fire. The nature is like that. So therefore, whether someone you believe fire nature is burning or not, but when you touching and that's burn for you. So that means is anyone you believe or not, karma of cause and effect, but you cannot be on to the karma of cause and effect. So therefore, we are fortunate human realm. Our brain is more clever, and luckily we met like this kind of the precious of the teachings, lineages. So in this way, we must be research about karma of cause and effect, so on. So anyway, the benefit is actually comes from the root of our mind, because the harming situation also comes from the root of our mind. Our mind can the root both of goodness and the bad things, both depend on motivation. If your projection motivation is pure, and then its ground is become pure, and the entire into the path is pure, and then final attainment, rapid result is also pure, positive. But if the wrong motivation, the projection is wrong, then is the projected, the result is also wrong ground, wrong path, and wrong result comes. So this everything is dependent to our motivation very much. Generally, as you know, everyone we looking, searching the root of happiness, enjoyment, and everyone try as much can away far from of the root, the cause condition of suffering. But we are almost 80-90% we believe the root of happiness, enjoyment is as a depend to the development stages of the externally of the materiality, material things or economies or so on. Because since we born naturally this physical body with the 5 sense source faculties, so therefore of course important to rely and depend to the external of a 5 sense pleasures object. But that is not only the cause and condition for happiness, enjoyment, because we born in this earth not only by physically, but the one important thing is mentally, the mental body with together. So therefore, not enough only we taking going care about the physical body, but we should to know how to taking going care about your mental body. That's also very important. So in this way, how are we going to taking care about your mentally? So this is today. This may be topic little bit related to the what we said, the meditation to be for the open the heart. So in this way, meditations by mentally, we cannot do meditate by only physically and verbally without of mind. Cannot. Meditation must be by mentally. So in this way, the meditation meant is actually in Tibetan gom and gom. There's two different pronunciation of a little bit the sound. One is a gom and was gom. Gom is can be like the activity of the meditation, an act, gom of the object. And there is gom means has to be familiarity, has to be habituated about the action, the activity, about of your view. So that means it's meditation. So if you can training your mind on the perfect object of your view, if become more habituated, and then you can open the main door of the mentality, as the peaceful energy, the compassion, love, the wisdom, the patience, the tolerance, the forgiveness, these kind of all the positive emotions you can, and at the same time, simultaneously you can close to the negative emotion, the door of negative emotion. So in this way, this meditation, and today a little bit I want to talking two ways. One is common, just preliminary meditation, general. One is little bit particular, the meditation to be the open the heart. So the first part, we're going a little bit follow in these 2 pages. You see the page second of the prayer on the generation of Bodhicitta. This is also one meditation, actually, for training, mind training, for immeasurable Bodhicitta, or for infinite mind training with 4 infinite of love, infinite of compassion, infinite of joy, infinite of great equanimity. So, in this way here, may all beings enjoy happiness. So this motivation you see, may all beings, ordinary, very normal, so usually difficult, we thinking about may all beings, we say only may all my people, my friend, or something, my country, my person, like this, ordinary is the selfishness or self-grasping. But here is external is the generation of Bodh related to the generation Bodhicitta of the love. So we must be thinking about may all beings, we say. The reason, because we, as mentioned in the very beginning, each sentient beings wish is the same like us, totally happy, enjoyment. Each sentient being same like us, want to wish freedom from the suffering. There's no any exceptions. That's why it's may all beings. One reason. Another reason, each sentient beings having the rights of sentient beings. We have our one's right to freedom from suffering. We are having the rights to achievement, happiness, enjoyment, which are human rights. So why not sentient beings' rights? To be freedom from suffering and to be achievement of the happiness, enjoyment. That's very true, right? So in this case, also we must be generate of love, compassion, the joy and the greed of equanimity, bodhicitta for equally, without any exceptions. That says may all beings. That's the one also another reason. First, we need to understand what is the object of your meditation. So meditation, I mentioned there's so many different options, but if you want to meditate like loving kindness meditation, like bodhicitta of love meditation, and then we need to understand may all beings enjoy happiness, the reason I mentioned you. But the happiness, enjoyment, you should not forget, is that must be depend to the similar cause and similar condition. Without cause and without condition, the happiness, enjoyment cannot be experiencing badly automatically, badly causelessly. That's not possible. So in this way, if your agreement, the happiness, enjoyment also depended to the cause and condition, and then this cannot comes from wrong cause and the wrong condition. This is also impossible. Apple fruit can depend to the apple seed, but cannot. This is born from of orange seed or another seed. That's not possible, right? Because that means each fruit is depend to each of the similar cause and similar conditions, but cannot depend to the wrong cause, wrong condition. Not possible. That is also natural law of cause and effect in the relationships between cause and effect nature. So in this case, the happiness, enjoyment also must be depend to the similar cause, similar condition. But no questions, what is the similar cause and condition of happiness, enjoyment? I mentioned you, generally by ordinary way, we believe the development state, external civilization of like five sense pleasures, object of form, sound, smell, taste, contact, and tactile sensations. That is only, but that's not only. That is one of the conditions for happiness, the temporary happiness, temporary enjoyment, but that's not fully, not enough, the cause and conditions. So therefore, even if you believe the development state, external materiality, things are only cause and condition, happy enjoyment, but still these also depend to your previous motivation and your previous actions. Otherwise, cannot easily form this external development state of the welfares also too. So in this way, what is the actual cause and condition? So the root is I mentioned you is depend on motivation. Internally, your mind. If your mind is with compassion, with love, with kindness, with empathy, with sympathy, or something is a relaxation, restness, and less of a negative emotion, more cultivating on the positive emotion or something, and that could become the actual cause and condition for happiness, enjoyment, clearly in this life and for future too. So therefore, we need to understand here the point, meaning when we go in meditation of love, that terms is first better your hearing wisdom and the contemplation wisdom of this the love and kindness. And then if you understand agreement comes from this logic and this reasoning, and then focus on this understanding, relax your mind on this understanding. That means the view, your meditation, the object of your view is love, compassion. And it has to be this more familiarity during the sitting meditation and during the post meditation. Means meditation can be in briefly. One is equipose meditation, concentration. One is the post meditation. So during the post meditation, walking time, talking time, sleeping time, eating time, any times is you can share your love, your compassion to everyone. That doesn't mean is the loving kindness meditation is you have to something sitting on the cushion and cross leg seat and then close your eyes and then just one pointedly some focus on object, only meditation on object. That's just one meditation, but that's not only meditation. And then maybe you think must be follow some traditions like maybe deity or recitation, mantra, chanting, prayer, presentation. Something is that also one practice, but not only. So these kind of practice you keep with your activity normal, whatever you're doing, because it changes your motivation, and then your actions also is transferred into virtue. Everything. So when you go to school class, normal your the class to learning, studying, but this also because usually why you going to studying. When you go in business, then why you going to business? Because I want to something is happy, enjoy myself or something. I want to become educated person, famous person, or I want to become more something rich person. That is our ordinary normal motivation, right? Doesn't mean that not good. It's okay. This is a nice, but not enough good, not nice enough, because still around many problems because selfishness is too strong. So therefore, first, if self-attachment, selfishness is more if you focus there, and secondarily, and then is jealousy to others and the harmful thought coming to others. So between there is ignorant, is there two dualistic graspings coming, three poses already obscured to your mind. And then, if your mind deluded, and then we hard to control the negative actions, such of 10 negative actions naturally comes to us. So therefore, just first we need to understand how to focus over the positive action. Is depend on your motivation. If motivation pure, then naturally your activities become pure. Virtue, your starting is become virtue. Your business is become virtue. Normal whatever you're doing, directly or indirectly, if you keep your motivation, this can benefit to everyone. And that means is any your activities become transformed into of the Maya and the traditions action. So therefore that means is meditation. The positive meditation is like that, become more familiarity, become more habituated. So however, that's just important. We just thinking when you go in meditation, first just focus on this. And then and the second here, may all beings be free from the suffering and the causes of suffering. That's what we doesn't want. Everyone same, the suffering, the painfulness, the sorrow, the obstacles we don't want. So, but the suffering is also depend to the cause and condition. Suffering cannot arising by automatically, by causelessly, also not possible. They have some cause, some condition, some reason. So therefore, what is the cause and condition? Suffering must be also depend to the similar cause and similar condition. So what is similar? Because the result is negative. So must be the cause condition also negative. That means is a negative emotion and negative action is the cause condition of suffering, directly or indirectly. So we has to be recognized the cause and condition, unfavorable the actual cause and the condition for suffering. First, we need to understanding. From hearing wisdom, contemplation wisdom. And then when your agreement comes, and then this must be keep your mind training on this walking time, talking time, sleeping time, eating time. Any time should not forget. You should be to understand the natural rule of cause and effect between suffering and cause of suffering. And that means is the post meditation. It's like that. Then naturally less and less your negative actions, and naturally as you enact of positive actions, naturally comes. So this is just infinite of the compassion in the second line there. And then is the third line is may all beings never be apart from the supreme bliss which is free of all suffering. So this we can say enjoy or rejoice with others happiness, with others enjoyment, with others virtues, with others of economy,
with others of education, whatever you hear, see, know, someone is going well. And then if you can rejoice with them, that means very, very virtue, very, very positive emotion comes to you. That's an antidote to the jealousy. Jealousy is very bad actually, but still, unfortunately, is easily comes jealousy, right? So that means I myself is important, always. So I always may I wish I become the best one, but it's impossible actually. But therefore, it's always jealous to compare to other people. Oh, they are better than me, something, and they're jealous, they're uncomfortable. That means it's a sadness feeling. It's a very negative. Directly harm your heart, and directly also harm me to your future life also too. And also other around people also uncomfortable. They understand you have jealousy to them. So therefore, jealousy is very bad, very, very bad, not good. For bodily and dharmic way, both is not good. So therefore, if you agree, and then how can free from jealousy? You need to meditate, relying on the rejoice over here, the third line in this. May all beings never be apart from the supreme, especially the supreme bliss. Means is really that the supreme, the great, the sacred. Something is the happiness, enjoyment. Because sometimes is it like looks like happy, enjoy, but is in fact is related directly to the suffering and the very negative. This kind we cannot say rejoice them. Like people are very happy, enjoy at the moment is the drugs, something they enjoy at the moment, but we can't say rejoice them because not the next week, next month they were suffering lots about it by this reason. This kind does not benefit. But here is supreme bliss, which is free of all sufferings at the moment and the future and the end. Always become more happy, enjoy, cause and condition becomes. So this kind is supreme bliss. So whenever you saw, when you hear, when you know someone going, if you rejoice them, that's very wonderful. Because if you can rejoice them, and then it's always you have chance, even just sitting on your cushion or your bed, but you have happy enjoy because you know someone going well, you rejoice them, and then you don't need to do any, just you rejoice them, and then you get collection, virtues, merits, and happiness, enjoyment is coming. And then the other people also very close to you, they love you, they respect you, honor you, because you very much rejoice others' happiness, enjoyment, right? That means harmonies is coming, the peaceful is coming, relaxation, restness feeling is coming. This is very true. Whether you are traditional, not non-traditional, that's not the case. But case is the actual, what is the happiness comes from which motivation, and unhappiness comes from which kind of motivation. So like this way, meditation, doing the positive meditation like this way, you can do meditate of the rejoice, particularly clearly. And then is finally is the fourth infinite, the meditation. May all beings live in the great equanimity, free from the attachment and aversions that keep some close and other distant. Because the ordinaries always is something, because very beginning, self-grasping is self-attachment comes, and then aversion to other. And between there is then jealousy, mention hatred, harmful thought, harming, fighting, quarreling, so many the problems is coming there. So therefore, if you can free from the attachment and free from aversionment, and that means equally for all sentient beings. No any exceptions. Even your enemy, you should not, anger, aversion meant with them. You do not only attachment of yourself and your people. If you like attachment, equally for all sentient beings, because mentioning the reason, what you want, they want. What we doesn't want, they also doesn't want. So therefore, you have your human rights, but they have their of the sentient beings' rights to attainment, happiness and freedom, suffering. So many reasons. So therefore, try to the great equanimity bodhicitta, training your mind, training or practice, or has to be more dishabituated. So how could we can do the post meditation? It depends your mindfulness, the power of mindfulness, and do protect these emotions by the power of mindfulness, by the power of alertness, over and over keep the as a memory, the mind on the better protection of mindfulness. So anyway, this kind of all is, if we say, generation bodhicitta, or 4 immeasurable bodhicitta, 4 infinite bodhicitta. Anyway, compassion, loving kindness, empathy, sympathy, any positive emotion, this color, all is good for everyone if you can do meditate. But 2 ways. One is sitting meditation, means is equipoise meditation. One is the positive meditation. So equipoise meditation means is just focus on the nature of compassion, focus on the nature of the loving kindness, focus on the nature of the joy, focus on the nature of great equanimity. What is the nature? The nature, the reality is primordially pure, primordially freedom of any kind of the distractions, the emotions. So that is the nature. So as much you can 100% focus on there. And the positive meditation is just apparent of your love, compassion, joy, and the great equanimity is illusion, like illusion, illusorily, appearances, illusorily, you know. So do compassion, love, meditation illusorily, and the great equanimity, bodhicitta, do prayer, practice, meditation, but illusorily. So that means is doing the positive meditation. So this all is general. So now in the last moments, I'm going to little bit the second stage I mentioned you, the meditation, the meditation to open the heart. So now the meditation, the ultimate, the meditation, the absolute truth meditation. So absolute truth meditation is actually if you can focus more on your mind nature, one's own mind nature. Then what is the mind definition of mind nature? So first, we should to know what means mind. Sometimes we say consciousness, right? Mind or consciousness. But what is consciousness? So actually, consciousness have no form, no sound, no smell, no taste, no contact, no shape, no color, no size. Because that is not material, it's non-material. So therefore, now what is consciousness? But still is something else. Could be can. What means something else? As you know, this is already oftenly I think, the definition of consciousness, clarity, awareness. Or clear and knowing. Clarity, awareness is as definition of our consciousness or mind. Clarity, awareness, right? So that means is the clarity means is because clearly we can receive the reflection of object forms on the smell, taste, contact, and tactile sensation, so on, or the reflection object of knowledge clearly could be can arising or can appearances on your mind. You clearly can listen my teaching. I clearly what I want to tell you clearly. That means we have power. Our mind have one power of aspect of clarity. That's one. But not only, and that is awareness. We can aware which is pleasant, which is unpleasant, which is equanimity, neutral, the reflection of the object. That's why we also having the 3 different kind of the sensation, the feeling. Sometimes we having experiencing pleasant feeling, sometimes experiencing unpleasant feeling, sometimes experiencing neutral equanimity, not pleasant, not unpleasant, but equanimity feeling. During these 24 hours, we can experiencing so various different kind of feeling, the sensation, but the numbers of different kind of the sensation, the feeling, and briefly we can divide it into these 3: pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. That is, no. So, but why is we having these 3 different kind of feelings? Because we have recognition. Our mind, our consciousness have power to recognition. Because we are having to recognize which is pleasant object, which is unpleasant object. When erasing the reflection of the object of the external of the object of the perceptions, pleasant, and then you're feeling also pleasant experiencing. When they are erasing the reflection, the object of external the positions and non-addictive, unpleasant, and then your feeling also the sensation is unpleasant feeling, right? But when arising the reflection of object is not pleasant, not unpleasant, I mean it's not attractive, not non-attractive, and then what do you think you're feeling? Your feeling are such, same like this, neither unpleasant nor pleasant. It means equanimity comes. So feeling can be this one of the three, 24 hours. So this is the telling us because of mind power, the awareness. We have the power to awareness. That's we say knowing or awareness. So together, clarity, awareness, or clear and knowing. That is the definition of our consciousness. So someone, if you feel, someone you can understand, some of you, if you agreement, oh, that's true, makes sense. Consciousness means is clarity, awareness, with the power, the continuity with the clarity, awareness. That is the point of definition of consciousness. That's exactly true. So that means you understand what means consciousness, what means is a mental body, So in this way now, this consciousness, what is the nature? We're talking now the meditation here a little bit, we have to be going to meditate the nature of your mind, to find the reality, essence of your mind. What is your mind nature? There's two ways. One is according to the conventionally, one is a description according to the ultimately. So conventionally, same like mentioned you before, the clarity, awareness, but illusion, like illusorily. Not existent inherently, but imputedly existent. Illusorily existent. The delusion mind. The clarity, awareness could be can existent, but doesn't mean inherently. Doesn't mean it's substantially. Then what means is existent? Imputedly existent. Be interdependently existent. Be relatively existent. That means it's like illusion, like almost same like dream. Your experiencing in the dream similar. Like that's the conventional truth. The continuity or the clarity, awareness. So during the positive meditation, if you can focus your mind of the conventional truth and mind nature is like illusion. That's very beautiful, very wonderful. Why I'm saying wonderful, beautiful? Because we don't want suffering, right? We want a happy enjoyment, right? We want relaxation, restness, comfortable feeling, right? So therefore, if you can focus your perception any times, whenever, no matter what kind of situation comes, if you little bit to thinking about illusion, that is like illusion, and then no matter situation, what comes externally, but you mentally is you feel the relaxation, restness comes to you. Otherwise, the opposite, if you too much chasing to the externally appearances are existent inherently, and then some goodness comes, also you happy, enjoy, but the bad situation comes as you are feel down, very much the panic, worry, suffering, angry, upset, so much, problems comes to us. This means to be too much, so the belief the external appearances are existent, Like the calmness, mother dreaming in the dream, they want to kids, and they get, and then after later, and then they lost, the kids dead, and then suffering. But why beginning very happy with the kids, and the end is the very suffering and lost kids? Because they believe is that's real. They are apprehending to truly existent her kids in dream. But it was a mistake, actually not true, that's dream, illusion. But wasn't she know that's a dream? So therefore she happy beginning as with the child, and the end very suffering because loss. She lose her the kids. So, but the happiness and the suffering both are actually is depend to her perception, was wrong perception, mistake. No. So therefore, when you understand that is really dream, that's only her mind, and then there's no attachment, but no the suffering, equal feeling is become relaxation. So that's just an example. Likewise, as a normal daytimes, usually modern or sick, the mental depression, mental anxiety. So these kind of mental pressures. So this all is the problems. We too much focus externally. What do you hear? What do you see? What do you know? Everything we trust. Something is exactly 100% something true, existent, and chasing them. so focus them too much, and then is thinking too much about, habituated too much about this externally, and then mind become crazy. That's the problem. Totally problem. Sometimes we don't know where is our mind. In the brain, not true. In the heart, not true. In the body, sometimes feel, sometimes not true. Means is almost we lost oneself. One's own mind almost losing, because we too much chasing to the external of this kind of modern, so the situation is every day, each moment comes so many informations. If too much, as truly. So therefore, doesn't mean you should not thinking about it, but illusorily, like illusion, be interdependently, imputedly. If you're thinking this, you should not forget the illusion, and then you can relaxation. But still you continuously can keep your work, your job, your activity, your learning, your business. You can do, but illusorily. Do business illusorily. So then as relaxation feeling comes to you, So that's why it's how important the meditation of the conventional truth of your mind. And then is the second meditation. Meditate on the nature, the absolute, the ultimate true nature, even not illusion. What is illusion means? It's unborn. That's the meaning, actually. What means is your mind, the clarity, continuity, awareness is existent interdependently. That means is, therefore, is nature is unborn. Emptiness. That's the Nagarjuna, Indian Nalindar, very scholar master, the Madhyamika teacher. He says all the component phenomena are, nature is empty, because originated by the interdependently. This is his logic. If you agree, everything's phenomena, appearances are originated by the interdependently. If you get this conviction, you found the certainty from the reason and from the logic. Every phenomena are originated by the interdependently. First, you understand this. Then what means interdependent? Interdependent means is anything cannot be existent by independently. That means the opposite. Interdependent or non or independent. That's the opposite, right? So therefore, if there's no independent, everything's dependently, that means is that not truly existent. If something by itself can existent truly, that same meaning independently, but you cannot find. Even one single atom cannot be existent independently, no possible. But interdependently, single atom also could be. We say single, but actually not single, because existent but interdependently. So therefore, nature is unborn. Nature is not true. But then even not true nature, and then why appears? Be interdependently again. So then what is these appearances? That's the illusion. So dream-like. So dream why appears? Because be interdependently. So therefore dream nature is not true. It's non-existent. So therefore, if you understand dream is as dream, and then no matter good or bad, you can relax the hours. But the problems, if you cannot recognize dream as dream, and then it's problem in the dream even. So similar at the normal or life. Also, if you can focus the two ways, one is conventionally during the post meditation, like illusion, and during the eco-post meditation, focus on the nature, emptiness, unborn nature. But doesn't mean nothingness. That doesn't mean nothingness means is the essential of luminosity. So clarity is the essential of your mind. And the union of clarity and emptiness, that is the definition, ultimate true nature of mind. So first, hearing wisdom, better contemplation wisdom about this nature mind, and then if you let it be the feel, generality, ponder, you don't say others' mind nature, but your own, one's own mind nature is, true, something is nature according ultimately unborn, empty. Better conventionally existent, illusorily, imputedly. So, but these two is not contradictory. Totally is a union, unborn nature, emptiness, and essential of the appearances, luminosity. That is my mind nature, or that's your mind nature. If you first can feel a little bit, That means is having the wisdom of hearing and the wisdom of contemplation comes. And then you form the view, the object of meditation of your mind. If you can one-pointedly focus on this, one-pointedness mind equals better concentration on this view, and then it's a habitude, become familiarity about these experiencings. First, understanding. Secondly, it will be experiencing. Finally, you will be realization. You will be recognized once true mind nature. Finally, not easy to recognize mind nature, but understanding is not that much complicated, right? I think you already understanding a little bit the definition of your mind nature. So if you understanding, and then it's experiencing is also not very complicated, because the understanding become something is a feel, like the coming, the something is the perception on your mind, this like imaginary something arising generally on your mind, that's is experiencing. And then to this more familiarity has to be more habitude, that means meditation practice, training. So your mind training. And then finally is you will be recognize your mind nature. So therefore when you can focus meditation on the nature of this, and that means is the meditation to be the open the heart. That means to open the heart. Because our heart or our mind is blocked. Block or band, tied, like bondage, we say bondage. And then what is the opposite is liberation. Liberate. We need to have to be liberate your bondages of your mind. Bondages with ignorant, bondages with of delusion, with of aversion mind, with of afflictive emotion, the bondage with of the discriminative emotion, or this kind of all is bondage. We say bondage, right? Bondage, the tied, knots like obscurations, diluted, obscured mind. So now we need to open, we need to has to be liberate about this bondage. How could we can liberate? Better power, mentioned before, love, compassion, rejoice, great equanimity, method, and primordial pure wisdom to understand the reality, ultimate nature of the ultimate truth nature and the conventional truth nature. These two nature we have to be understanding better your wisdom knowledge. So these two together, the great method of compassion and the great perfection of wisdom together, and you found how to find the perfect, excellent view. So that means is the ultimately how we could meditate, to be open the heart. Means how to liberate. Then what is the benefit if you can open your heart, if you can liberate of your mind, if you can open the main gate of your mind from the bondages, and that means is, we can say, enlightenment mind. Enlightenment means freedom from the delusion, your mind freedom from the of contaminated karma, your mind will be freedom, the result of suffering of samsara. One day. So that means is enlightenment mind. So Buddha says enlightenment means nirvana. Nirvana is, Buddha says, has peace. This peace is ultimate peace of the ultimate enjoyment. Chance one's opportunity if you can attain mental state realization, one's true mind nature. So this meditation, ultimate true nature, also two ways you can do meditation. One is the equipoise meditation, one is positive meditation. So similar, as mentioned before, equipoise meditation, one pointedly focus without any concept, without any perception, without a thought, just relaxed, rest is on the nature, without any concepts. But that's not easy, but can, possible. And the post meditation is, I mentioned you, talking time, walking time, sleeping time, eating time, any times, should not forget nature is unborn, emptiness, and the essential is luminosity, and the appearances are disappearing by the union of unborn nature, emptiness, and the essential of luminosity. That means post meditation. So meditations, there's so many various different kind of aspects because it depends on the object of your meditation. But today, and just and briefly, it's just a reminder to you. Doesn't mean you don't know, but I just reminding to you, how important to do meditate about the great method of compassion and the great perfection of wisdom. According to the conventionally, how to do meditate, according to ultimately how to do meditate. So this is maybe a little bit, I think, is helpful. If you little bit understand, if more understand, maybe more helpful. If you completely understand, I think completely is helpful, right? If you don't understand, then I don't know. It's completely maybe it doesn't work. It don't work. But this is up to you. Depend up to you. Even Buddha Shakyamuni comes, he says, "I show you the path for liberation, enlightenment. Enlightenment do not depend up to you." He says he cannot do more than Buddha himself also said. Right? Yes, that's why Buddha says, Fanda says, you are the protection. You are the master of yourself. Right? What other master could there be do? So through calming yourself, your mind and you found hard to find. He says the master. So you are the master of yourself. What other master could there be do? Through calming yourself alone, you found a master hard to find. You yourself, your protector, your protection, your refuge, your teacher, your guide, your leader is yourself. That's Buddha himself, he says. But he says, I show you the path. Then if I ask, what is you show us you path? He says, commit no evils. Right? You hear already, I'm sure this is very common with the quotations. Commit no evils. Engage as much in virtuous deed. Subdue one's own mind thoroughly, he said finally. Subdue one's own mind thoroughly. That is Buddha's advice. That is Buddha Dharma. Dharma means Buddha's advice. Why Buddha says commit no evil? Because mentioned before, no one wants to suffering, right? Everyone wants to be freed of suffering. Traditional, non-traditional, Buddhist, non-Buddhist, no matter. But wanting same, freedom from suffering. This is true. If this is true, they should not forget suffering is dependent to the cause and condition. That's also I mentioned before. So now what is the cause condition suffering? The misdeed action, negative emotion, negative karma, the wrong motivation. This kind of all is. So therefore, Buddha says, please commit no evil. Okay? Because you don't want suffering. If true, suffering comes from evil, depend to the evil. Misdeed action, negative. So commit no evil. That's why he said. And then he says, please, as much you can engage as much in virtuous deed. The reason? Because everyone you want, happy, enjoyment, that's true. But happiness, enjoyment, I mentioned you, also comes from dependent to the similar cause, similar condition. What is a similar cause, similar condition of happiness, enjoyment? The virtue, merits, positive action, positive emotion. That's why Buddha said, engage as much in virtuous deed. As long as you want happiness, enjoyment, then as much, can engage as much in virtuous deeds. When you say one day, oh, I don't want happiness, I don't want enjoyment, totally true, deeply your heart, then Buddha say, okay, then fine. Okay? You don't need to engage much in the virtues. There's no make sense, right? Because you don't want happiness, enjoyment. But as long as, no matter which person, which tradition, which culture, but if you want to happy, enjoy, then Buddha says, please then engage as much in virtuous deeds. That's only the way. Happiness, enjoyment, directly or indirectly. Then finally, what means virtue? What is non-virtue? Virtue, you have confusing, and then Buddha says, okay, don't worry, subdue one's own mind thoroughly. That is meaning. They have so many detailed explanations, but point is subdue or training one's own mind. Training, these many same people say, oh, training mind, I don't like, because then maybe I will lose my freedom. No. Freedom is very good, important, but freedom, there's two, temporary freedom, temperament freedom, and ultimate freedom. Buddha's the aim, Buddha's purpose, Buddha's advice, or Buddha's guide us into ultimate freedom. But ordinary, always worry even losing the temporary freedom. Therefore, there never ever chance comes ultimate freedom. This is the problem. Okay, so therefore, if you like agreement, achievement, ultimate freedom, then don't worry, the temporary and the freedoms even lose. There's some what should to do, what should not to do. You should not forget. You have to distinguish clearly which is necessary engagement of your actions, which is necessary abandonment of your actions. So therefore, if necessary abandonment action, then even sometimes little bit temporary your freedoms lose, but you should not, forget. That's because then ultimate freedoms coming. If you cannot, and then ultimate freedoms never ever comes. So this is a problem. So therefore, subdue once more thoroughly. That's Buddha Dharma. But both these also is interdependently. Buddha really says all the phenomena of happiness and the phenomena of sufferings are originated very interdependently. Sufferings depend to the negative action, negative condition, and the happiness, enjoyment depend to the positive action, positive karma, and favorable conditions. That is finally. That means is phenomena are originated very interdependently, very commissionally. So that is today. We're going here stop. So anybody, if you have any questions, we're going a little bit for question and answers. Anyone, if you have any questions. Yes?
So, with the path, which is rigorous, with knowledge and practice, and when you get beyond suffering and you arrive at beyond equanimity and those states, and you approach luminosity and emptiness and ultimate freedom, is there any description of those ultimate states, like ultimate freedom or luminosity or emptiness, any, just like one of them, like we work to get to these places, but I just want not necessarily to grasp it, but I'm just curious what that is.
Actually, freedom, there's temporary freedom, ultimate freedom. So temporary freedom means is it just in this samsara, like for example, the suffering of the lower realm. We mentioned you hell realm, hungry god realm, animal realms. Even in the upper, on the fortune realms, still we have many suffering, like with the sick, the ill, something losing or something. This kind of all is a temporary suffering. So if we want to be freedom from the temporary suffering, then you don't need to understand the very ultimate nature, emptiness, selflessness of person, selflessness phenomena. This is too complicated. But you need to know, as I mentioned you, is the virtuous action, the merits is cause of happiness, enjoyment, and you should not forget that the non-virtuous negative action is as a cause condition of suffering. So therefore, we need to has to be changed about these actions. But the questions then already we created like negative action was, some of negative emotions. And then now is we understand that was misdeed. And now is the result have to will be experiencing of suffering or not. But that means is you have chance. Negative is actually fully wrong. But only one good qualities, you have chance opportunity to purifications. You can do purification. The previously misdeed karma. You should not will be experiencing heptu of the sufferings, because when you're having the antidote, if you found, and then you can, you can do clean, cleansed or purified, purification. That's the one thing you can do, purification. But still, that does mean it's the ultimate freedom, but temporary freedom you have, and you achievement temporary happiness, temporary enjoyment. That's also not nirvana. Then on top, if you want to completely freedom from this of faults and this suffering, and you completely achievement ultimate peace, ultimate enjoyment, then not enough. Only understanding natural law of cause and effect, beautiful, but not enough. We should to know what is the nature of yourself and what is the nature of phenomena. That means it's selflessness, emptiness, selflessness of phenomena. Not enough only understanding, but you need to train your mind of this view, emptiness, and the essential of the appearances of the interdependent and union. And then if you practice, meditate, and then less and less the true dualistic grasping. If less and less true dualistic grasping mind, and then less and less of the obscuration, the delusion, means ignorant. If you want the freedom from ignorance, then free from the karma, the contaminated karma. If you freedom from contaminated karma, then completely you freedom from the suffering of the samsara fully. That means you completely attainment state of ultimate peace, ultimate enjoyment. In this point, and then we need together of your compassion and wisdom together, not enough only compassion. If missing wisdom to understand emptiness, and then can help benefit each other temporarily, but cannot benefit ultimately, enlightenment. But even you have wisdom, but if you lack the compassion, still is not possible enlightenment, because we need two collection, merit and wisdom. So collection merit is better compassion, and collection wisdom is the perfection of knowledge of wisdom to understand the emptiness. These together. So therefore, I mention you, like for example, when you go into generosity, for perfection practice or generosity. But if you generosity with the recognition object, subject, and active itself of three spheres inherently, that's also virtue, that's also generosity, but not perfection. Because you believe existent, truly, absolutely, inherently, that's worldly dharma. Like it's dharma, but it's worldly. That's generosity, but it's worldly. Because why we say worldly, because cannot beyond to the samsara. If even you are very generosity person, but if like this way, normal generosity. So therefore, you can do collection merits, but you missed collection of wisdom. That's the problem. So therefore, you want to be freedom completely of samsara. Therefore, we need to add on top of this generosity, not only worldly, but and then the great perfection of wisdom, meant illusorily generosity. The object, the giving of object, subject, and active itself, or three spheres are conventionally like illusion. And according to the ultimately unborn nature, emptiness. So with the wisdom and compassion union, if you do generosity, and then two collections together comes. And this leading you temporary freedom of suffering and temporary happiness in this samsara, not only on top, ultimate freedom, ultimate achievement in nirvana is coming. So like this way, we need to distinguish what is the difference, how to go in purification, previous missed it, and how we collected two collections for the future. So like this, little bit complicated, but this wisdom and compassion like this way together, and then everything's. For purification, by compassion, wisdom. For collection merits, also the compassion, wisdom. For enlightenment, also by the power of compassion, of wisdom. A temporary benefit also is wisdom and compassion. Ultimate benefit also wisdom and compassion. Something like this. Yes.
How do you balance your wish to benefit others in a worldly sense, which seems more immediate? Like you help to teach someone like to read. How they don't know how to read, and you help teach them how to read, or you just benefit them by giving them food, like the relative. But that seems so much more immediate, that I'm helping someone directly in this dream-like appearance, whereas the idea that I would gain, enlightenment and then forever benefit all beings, infinitely, seems so far away. Mm-hmm. That it's sometimes for me, I feel like, my focus really should just be on the relative, helping beings, because it seems so, like, for me, like light years away. Like I know you've taught us the nature of mind is here, but that can feel so far away compared to just helping someone directly.
Yes,
like, how do you
true.
balance?
True, that's very far. That's true. Only this. That's why I mentioned you. You should not, if you want to short way, and then should not missing these two together.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you giving? So one is compassion. That's good. Real compassion, I mean, with the empathy, with the sympathy energy comes. Therefore, you see someone poor, sick, ill. You can have some, generosity. So therefore, that's good. But if this enough, only you just generously like this will hold your life. Is it good can enlightenment? No, never, ever, no possible. No possible, but still beautiful, still very good. Why good? Because make happy enjoyment these poor people. Therefore, you also happy enjoy because you want to support them. You did well done. So you accumulated lots of merit by this reason. So therefore, you become also next rebirth. I can reborn higher fortune, not only as a rich country, rich family, and you become rich person because of the generosity, the result from generosity. But that's not enlightenment, right? Very far. Enlightenment is very far. So therefore, you want to sown enlightenment, then should not forget your generosity with of perfection, wisdom. So that means is you should not forget the object of giving is as illusion. The subject of giver also is an illusion. And the act itself of giving also is illusion. The reason why? Because these three spheres appearances are originated by the interdependently. That's true, right?
Yeah.
Interdependently. There's no object, there's no subject. There's no both and there's no act of giving, right? So that means very clear is originated the giving is generosity is the interdependently. So therefore now what is true? Truth is illusion. The giving, the activity is illusion. Illusorily, I'm saying do generosity. That's the post meditation comes now. Means is wisdom together. Pure on top of your pure compassion, motivation, bodhicitta or anywhere is a pure motivation, the empathy is empathy, but not only, there's other is the wisdom comes together because you understand that's illusion. So that means post meditation. It's become union, your collection merits and wisdom together, this generosity. And then during the eco-post meditation times is without any concept of object, subject, active itself, even without three spheres, just one pointedly focus, the eco-post meditation concentration focus on the true nature, Dharma sphere, of your meditation object of generosity. That's the ultimate nature, eco-post meditation. And that is shortcut to enlightenment, not far.
Really?
Yes, this case is not far. Yes. It's really, but it's not easy, okay? If you can, and then it's not far. Yeah. So no matter far or near, anywhere that's the only the way.
Yeah.
For achievement, happiness, enjoyment, or for freedom of suffering, that's the only the way. So if first you found your first step in the red path, and then second step is also closer to the, the happiness, enjoyment, and aware, far from the suffering. This is very clear. But your first step is a wrong path, and then far from the happy enjoy and closer to the unhappiness, suffering. So therefore, important has to be found the red view, no mistake. And then no problem, even sound very far, but it's sooner or later you will be enlightenment is coming. Sooner or later, right? Yes. Even takes a kalpas, eons, for completely enlightenment, still not very far. Because otherwise, what you can do more than of 3 numberless eons, you say, oh, enlightenment too far for me. Yes, you can, you say this, but okay, then for you too far, 3 numberless eons, then what you can do more than something? What you should do during these 3 numberless eons if it doesn't start, right? Yes, so therefore not far.
Okay.
We sense from beginningless in samsara, training in the wrong way. The beginningless, not only 3 numberless eons, right? So therefore 3 numberless eons, very short. Is it? Compared to really this logic. True, right? Yes, so therefore if you say, I don't want to start 3 numberless too far, that means is after 3 numberless, you are still same. Yes, isn't it? So then that time you understand, oh my God, I was, missed these 3 numberless eons vested, still I'm normal, So therefore better I enter into the path of then 3 numberless, now I'm enlightenment. Right? So therefore do start right now. Maybe some of you already, maybe it's, enter into the path of enlightenment, maybe many lifetimes, maybe hundreds of thousands. Some of you maybe already is, the 1 eon is already gone, who knows? already, you know. Some of you maybe this life is the first time in this samsara to starting, right? So anyway, that is the only the way.
Thank you.
Yes. Read to me.
Something I think about is that there are circumstances in which a horrible thing just happens to someone, despite their virtues and despite their, right motivation and right mind. And if someone is really understanding that by virtuous actions you receive happiness, or by doing evil you receive negative emotions, how do you reckon with that? Like, how do you not lose that belief and that understanding, or blame yourself for the misfortune that has happened to you?
I'm not very clear understanding myself your question, but actually, generally,
Maybe I can try to say again.
yeah.
If someone is very virtuous in this lifetime,
Yes.
and is doing all of the right things, and,
Yes.
and has pure motivation,
Yes.
and yet some horrible misfortune
Straight
still
comes.
comes,
Straight comes. Yes.
how can that person not lose their belief
Okay. All
or
right. I get it. I
blame
get it.
themselves?
All right. That's okay. Good question. I get it. So these kind is because the reason. So first you have to know the nature rule of karma cause effect, how functioning, how the karma cause effect, how related, how functioning. We need to know, because if not clear enough understand how function the karma cause and effect, then problem. The doubt is coming. That's true. This happened. Sometimes say, oh, I don't know what's beginning. I believe karma cause very much. Because the teacher teaching Bodhisattva, those teachers says, if you very virtue, compassionate, good motivation, good activity, you will be happy, enjoy good life. But I did lots of virtues, but for me more worse, is a two problem. And then I saw some people they doesn't care virtue of so on, but they happened good, everything is better than me, right? That's the coming the door to the question immediately. But this means is because the results, what you're experiencing, what you see directly, that not only from the depend to your actions in this life, very present only. Because the karma, the imprint of the habitual basic tendencies stored on the stem mind, the sense from beginningless follow us. Some karma already exhausted, but some the imprint previous actions still follow you here. So that why following? Because yet not repents fully. So depend the condition. So and therefore now, and briefly we said the karma whose fruits will be experiencing. There's four possibilities. Four possibilities. The karma whose fruits. So first possibilities, karma whose fruits will be experienced in this life, very, very in this life. This is the first possibility. So, but not only. Karma whose fruits will be experienced only this life, then what you say is exactly true. Good person must be happy, enjoy, bad person must be suffering in this life. But that's not the case, because there are four possibilities. First is a karma whose fruits will be experienced in this life, but this karma is a very strong karma, either positive or negative. Very long-term positive karma either. The motivation very strong, and the object of positive or negative is both are very unusual, special. And then could become possibilities, karma whose fruits will be experienced in this life, immediate in this life. That's one possibility. And the second part, if not true, means if not, the first one, and then second possibilities, karma whose fruits, means one day when you created karma, already having the, created karma, positive or negative anyway. The second possibility is a karma whose fruits will be experienced in immediate next rebirth. In immediate, because not this life. It's immediate, the second possibility is immediate, the second strong one. Actually, most strongest one in this life. Second strongest one is immediate next rebirth. Will be experiencing good karma, you will be reborn, higher fortune, human, good life, and so on. Bad karma, immediate next rebirth, reborn in the lower realm, suffering, so on. That's the second possibilities. And if not, Then third possibilities. Karma whose fruits will be experienced in another circumstantial lifetimes. In another circumstantial lifetime means is maybe third life, maybe after fourth, maybe after eon's lifetime, possible. Buddha says, karma committed will not be dissipated, the result by automatically, by causelessly. That means is sooner or later must be experienced the result from your karma of either positive or negative. Karma will not be dissipated by automatically, by causelessly. So therefore, is the third possibility is karma whose fruits will be experienced in another circumstant constant lifetimes, sooner or later, because the conditions, waiting the conditions. That's the third possibilities. And the fourth, the last possibilities meant is uncertainty. The result, karma whose fruits, uncertainty will be experiencing uncertainty. That means is negative karma, you can do purification with the four powers. And positive karma, unfortunately, could be destroyed. Sometimes very aversion mind, the hatred, the harmful thought, deeply your heart comes to someone very angry, and then and then can be destroyed. Some of karma, not all the positive karma, but some positive karma can be. So therefore, that's one reason. Another reason, the fourth possibility is because the karma, the strong, but the real karma is need to complete four branches. But is it not completely, fully of enough the four branches, but we're not going all detail, then more question come back. Anyway, is missing one of these four branches and then very not strong. So therefore, it can be easily destroy positive karma, can be easily purification of negative karma. So therefore, that's the fourth is the uncertainty, the experiencing of the result. So four possibilities. Anyway, no matter the last three, but the first one, usually our questions coming depend with that. We only thinking karma whose fruits will be, experiencing in this life. That's not true, because as I mentioned already. So therefore, if you understand these four possibilities, then no need doubt. But now the good reason, one, sometimes you are very good practitioners, but you have so many obstacles, so many problems comes than other people in this life. That's a good sign. Okay, that's the good sign. Why good sign? That's the question. Good sign because you have no chance will be experiencing suffering next life. Because your next life is a chance of enlightenment. You will be reborn, maybe in the Pure Land, Buddha's Pure Land. Amitabha Buddha's Pure Land is Devachen. Devachen means a fully blissfulness. There's no suffering, no possible. There's a chance of suffering, but you have something. The result of the karma, negative karma, is there's something left. So therefore, this person must be suffering now, right now. This is because the contaminated aggregates projected by the previous misdeed karma with these contaminated aggregates is the last one, the last chance. Because the result experience, because mentioned Buddha says karma committed will not be dissipated, right? You have to experiencing sooner or later, if without antidote, without of purifications. Then, so therefore, the resident of the last of the list of negative karma must be, Buddha says, karma created, it will not be dissipated. So, but then there's no chance future, because you are very good practitioners. Because future enlightenment or future Buddha field you born. So therefore, this is the chance in this life. So this person is the very practitioner. Some, don't worry, is very practitioner always suffering in this life. But sometimes if it happened, that time you should not forget. This is the reason, the sign. That's why I'm saying good sign. Okay? Not bad. It's a good sign. But now the opposite, the contrary, bad sign. What is it, the opposite, contrary, bad sign? Very bad karma. He or her life is active in negative killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, lying, slander, but still going everything's very well, successfully, looks like, as a happy, rich, it looks like everything. That means it's a very, very bad sign. Why? Now you can understand. There's no chance we'll be experiencing suffering next rebirth, because directly falling in the hell, hungry ghost or so on, there's no chance to happy enjoyment, because happiness, enjoyment in the upper fortune in the human realm, you have more chance. So because the moment you are luckily born in the human realm, right? Unluckily, this human body you used and the totally fully wrong. So therefore, your previous rest, something of the positive karma, must be experiencing the happiness, enjoyment immediately right now, because like sometimes even in the some of the I don't know some the country rule maybe is they decided you will be killed, you know, and from the jail in the jail. And then next day you are killed, and today you have very enjoy. They're giving you good food. You take shower. So many things. Some they do. You know that means it's not good sign. That means tomorrow you have no chance to eating this food, delicious drink, alcohols, also everything. So whatever you like today you can have. That means tomorrow you will kill. So sometimes they do, you know. So that's just example. But like this way, that's the very very bad sign. Okay. So now we need to understand that there's for the best one, this life good, happy, enjoy, and of course next immediate enlightenment or Buddha Pure Land. That's the best one. Both in present and future is always good. That's the best one. Second best one, what do you think now? This life I mentioned you, suffering many problems, but immediate next birth, you enlightenment or you will be Pure Land. The second best one. The third, in this life, you're happy, enjoy, but immediate next rebirth suffering. This is the third one. What is the fourth possibility? Worst, most, or the worst one? Both of this life and immediate next, both is suffering. Make sense? Yeah, that's true, really true. Yeah. And these all clearly understand, then there's no need to doubt. Otherwise, easily you says, you know. All right. So, okay. So now there's no questions. Now we're going to let bit short meditation for 10 minutes. Just meditate on relaxation, restness, comfortable feeling. So how we do meditate? There's so many, I mentioned you, but today, in this moment, 10 minutes, just relaxation. Relaxed on the comfortable feeling. Be physically, be verbally, be mentally, okay? So from the body, be physically means relaxed. Keep on very flexible way. Fully hold the muscles of your body. Keep very relaxation, flexible, comfortable, on principleness. Sense from skin, flesh, bones, organs. Sense from the toes up to shoulder, fingers, clothes, ground. Everything's the part of body are. Just as much you can just relax on the very flexible, comfortable relaxation rest. Now, do not sit very tightly. Do not very bend, your body. As much you can more. No matter sitting on cushion, floor, chair, sofa, either. But just physically. That's from body, red posture, common. And then from speech, verbally, during the meditation, this meditation is silent meditation. So don't speak, no speech. And the breathing, naturally, out, in, slightly, peacefully, quietly, means is even without sound, you're breathing. Very quietly, means relaxation, breathing. Then your energy is very calm, nest on. Energy is calmness on, and that means is your distraction mind also become calmness on from the distraction mind. The busyness mind, the monkey mind, the jumpiness monkey mind can be relaxed. So therefore, by mentally now, okay, during this moment, 10 minutes, don't thinking. Do not thinking about some things of past, present, future. Just relaxed. Keep on nature, relaxation, restness, alone. Without judge. During the main time, don't judge your meditation good or bad. Do not judge motivation good or bad. Do not judge right or wrong your meditation. Just relax. Freely. All right. Okay, we start. So now we're going to dedication prayer. For the people led. All right, that's all today. All right. Thank you for joining.
Thank you. We have a Sunday holiday teaching, and if you can excuse from your busy life, and always the opportunity is not your doorstep, so please come on Sunday. Okay? Thank you.